In this video, I explore the Manhwa top 10 where MC hides his true power. There's a lot of good mangas which you can't find in English, but if you do know Korean or Chinese, then feel free to read them. There are many manhwas where the MC hides his or her identity and power, but they're not on this list since I want to show you only the greatest of the ones that are on this list. So yeah, this is my list of the top 10 manhwas where the main character hides his true power. I've read about these and they have been enjoyable because the MC didn't try to be a smartass type, but instead hid his power or talent. Before we begin, be sure to like and share, and of course, subscribe to my channel. Number 10. Hero, I Quit a Long Time Ago. This is a 270 chapter based manhwa. Zero was mankind's first real superhero. Under his watch, countless other superheroes appeared and followed in his footsteps. However, after 5 years of war, Zero disappeared without a trace. Hunted did its best to uncover the truth about this mysterious hero. This manhwa has some good fight scenes, but the thing is, the story is fast-paced. Anyway, it's worth the time, so give it a shot. Number 9. The Greatest in the World. The Greatest in the World is a pretty good manhwa in my opinion. Even though it's new, it has like 12 or 13 chapters for now. Art is amazing. Yes, the art style is just amazing. And the plot, well, I'll give it a 10 out of 10 for now. If you want some great manhwas with good heart and a story, then this might be the one of those that you like the most. Also, if you're looking for some manhwas with hiding powers, and also if you're looking for a manhwa that has that character that hides its powers, then I suggest you give this a shot. There's no need to state the simple truth in large sentences. I am the greatest in the world. So give this manhwa a read. Number 8. Wizard of Arsenia. This is honestly a really interesting and a great manhwa. The storyline is so unique and the main character isn't perfect, it's flawed and complex. So if you want some wizard dragon like that, this manhwa can give you that kind of fun. So give it a read, what you waiting for? It's really worth your time. It really has some interesting and comedic elements put together very well as well. And of course it has great storylines and the world building is amazing. If you wish to return, then you must find all the stones of the dragon's heart. And so Lee started his adventure to become an unparalleled mage. What kind of bonds will he form? That's all for up to him. What kind of bonds will he form? Well, that's up for him to decide. This manhwa has like 76 chapters. That is only for now, but all the chapters are really good, so give it a watch. It's really worth it. Number 7. It all starts with playing the game seriously. One born as an ant out to have will and ambition. Fate has not yet been determined. Each of us are a black horse. When the game descended into reality, players gained the ability of their in-game characters. As such, the world became chaos. Liu Yi, forbearing, ambitious, and yet afraid of fighting, time travels to an era before the game had become a reality. Armed with the knowledge of the future, starting from the bottom, now we're here. Yeah, starting from the bottom, I'm just kidding. Starting from the bottom to overcome his fear of lightning, Li Yu rises up to the top and ultimately becomes the savior and resolves the crisis of the apocalypse as well. The art style, the story, and the characters are all acceptable, and I would really recommend this webtoon. Number 6. Return of the Frozen Player. After being cryogenically frozen for 25 years after his defeat, the Frost Queen, Seo Jun-ho, or better known as the Spectre, suddenly falls in the middle of an elementary school assembly at the museum dedicated to him as his team. After reuniting with his friend who is now the head of the Hero Association, he realizes how different the world after he became frozen has come to fruition. He decides to become a rookie again and put a hold on the Spectre name until he can gain enough experience. He becomes a star rookie of Korea, and he also gets enemies or fiends who are after him. Though there are some moments where characters feel sort of out of place and flat and not as entertaining, but the action and the comedy and the story make up for it. But of course, who can forget the amazing art style? Number 5. Infinite Apostle and 12 War Girls. E is recognized as the strongest existence, standing at the top of the world. Wealth, fame, power, it was not worth mentioning in his eyes. The strongest apostles fled and startled the human continent for the reason. Don't get me wrong, Lao Zi came to look for his future wife. Yes, it's a story about the strongest single apostle ever looking for a wife. After reading the first chapters of the manga, you find out that there are apostles who are like gods that create worlds and are considered the strongest existence there is. Of course, they are feared by people. One of the apostles gets tired of that attitude towards him and tries to live the life of a normal high school boy. He enrolls into a magic academy to find his future wife. Yes, who needs money and power? Give the man a wife, man! And while the story is not that bad, with all these, when you become strong, you are feared and people are trying to avoid you. So it is better to be similar to people around you than being somehow different. Number 4. My Dad is Too Strong. The story is fun to read and utterly hilarious at times. It's lighthearted for the majority, only taking a serious tone during situations which require it, but at no point so far does it turn into a tragedy. It's got 45 chapters in already. There are several characters which are pretty unique and relatable and have some quirks who all contribute to the narrative. I don't read mangas for the art, but it's colorful, which is always pleasing on the eyes. In relation to other isekai reincarnation mangas, the main character isn't an arrogant, pompous butt who let the power go to their head and actively seeks to avoid causing trouble. A scatterbrained, talentless civil servant returned as the heavenly demon. He now wished to live the rest of his life peacefully, as his days in the Miriam world were full of conflict and bloodshed. However, please be my father until I graduate. He suddenly gained a daughter out of nowhere. Give this a try. And at number 3, we've got The Great Mage Returns After 4,000 Years. Lucas Trauman was the greatest archmage in history until he was condemned by demigods to spend eternity losing his mind. But 4,000 years later, he is thrust back into the world, into the body of Frey Blake, the weakest, most untalented student at the prestigious West Road Academy for Mages. After all this time, the world of magic has barely progressed. Could this be the work of a demigod? Determined to find out, Lucas seeks to reach the highest levels of power once again to get his revenge. This manhwa is like really good, and our MC is also OP. So, do check this manhwa out. Number 2. The Reincarnation Magician of the Inferior Eyes. Abel was a genius magician who held immense power in the world where the color of your eyes indicates how powerful you are. However, the strength that came with this amber eyes was so great, even his comrades looked at him with fear and contempt. He therefore decided to transfer his soul far into the future, hoping to find a paradise that accepts him. He would soon find out that people's attitudes regarding his eye color did change, but not quite the way he had imagined. This manga is way better than any magic manga I have ever read. So give this a try, it's really worth your time and will open your eyes and change your colors. Get the reference? And drumroll, at number 1, we've got The Max Level Hero Has Returned. Struck by an enemy's arrow, the powerless Prince Davy Oroven falls into a coma. His soul travels to a place where the greatest of the great gather, the Honorable Hall of Heroes. There, 1,000 years pass as Davy undergoes excruciating training under their watchful eyes to become a hero too strong for his own good. Now back to his timeline and his kingdom. He's wide awake and the enemies hiding in the king's court better be prepped. Yes, they better be prepped. And when I say prepped, I mean prepared. The prince they had dismissed is now their biggest threat. This manhwa has like 55 chapters for now, so give it a shot. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. Make a comment below which one you have seen. Do share your experience. Don't forget to like the video. Do press the bell icon to get notified about the latest videos and news trends. Till then, Take care and stay safe.